back in the early days of World War II, Britain needed airplanes. What they wanted to do was to buy P-40s under license. They contacted North America. North America said, nah, we can build you something better. And in 117 days, they had this aircraft in prototype form. Well, the British got a hold of the airplane. They loved the airplane, they hated the engine. It was powered originally by an Allison engine, which did not have the high altitude performance needed. Now you're probably wondering, Fast Eddie, why are you stopping when the airplane goes by? Because that Mustang speaks the story of the airplane better than I ever will, and Scott wants you to hear it, and frankly, so do I. From the left, Scooter Yoke, the P-51. Hesitation going. Well, anyway, the British loved the airplane. They hated the engine. The Allison was supposed to have a turbocharger. There was no room in the airplane for it. However, somebody over in England said, you know, what would happen if we were to put one of these Merlin engines in this terrific airplane? And a legend was born. Was a 16-point hesitation roll. Well, North America had known about the engine, and they even designed the Mustang so that it could be easily converted just in case. The problem, Rolls-Royce factory over in England was already at maximum production, producing engines for British aircraft, and that's where Packard came in. From the left, Scooter Yoke, Quicksilver. Now, originally, the Ford Motor Company had been contacted to build Merlin engines. Well, Ford blew it. Instead, Packard stepped up and said, you know, we can do this. And they went from plans to production, including a brand new facility for Merlin engines, in 18 months. Engine just sounds so sweet going off into the distance. Now there is a big difference, a lot of differences between the Packard engine and the original Rolls-Royce. So much so that Rolls-Royce managed to get their hands on a Packard engine figuring it was going to be a clunker, and discovered that it was an extremely well-built engine.
Classic.
The engine only has but yet was very fast and also very fuel efficient compared to the P-47, whose engine was about 40% larger. The difference with the P-51 was the wing. It's a laminar flow wing, which I'll explain in a moment. North American aviation did something that many people in the aviation business said at that time couldn't be done. It is a special wing called a laminar flow wing. What that means is that you get an airplane with a laminar flow wing versus the same plane without it, the laminar wing will go faster with the same horsepower, which made the P-51 a real winner.
Wow! Another one. Whew!
Now that laminar wing, the problem they had with it was very simple. They were difficult to build, and many aviation experts said, well, North American, you can't do it. Yeah, the problem is, North American did it. With that engine, that laminar flow wing and the slick lines of the P-51 combined with a couple of drop tanks, all of a sudden we had a fighter cover that had the range needed to go all the way to Berlin. That made a big difference for our bomber crews, because now they had fighter cover. Now you may hear a little bit of singing coming off the airplane. That's the wind on the inside gun ports. There you can hear it.
Wow. There we got some smoke rings, folks.
What the difference between this engine and the Allison engine is, the Berlin engine is equipped with a 2-speed supercharger. That made the difference. Above 10,000 feet, second speed cut in, the blower went into high rate, you had sea level power at altitude. And that gave you the performance you needed to take the enemy on. Maximum speed of 440 miles per hour with a stall speed of 100 miles per hour. This airplane really made a difference, and Herman Goering himself said that once he saw American fighters over Berlin, he knew the war was over. And who was the most famous people that flew Mustangs during the war? Why, the Tuskegee Airmen, of course. They established a superb record in combat. Scott Hill because no smoke ring out there. Well done. I knew he was going to do it. Nobody could pass that up. You know what's really remarkable? You think about